drop a like and do share. Leave your comments and do not forget to subscribe for more videos.
Hello and welcome to Edupedia World.
In this training session, we'll be seeing a dialog box and an important concept called fragments. So whenever we click any dialog box, there will be a dialog box open. Suppose if you take a scenario when you have a project with multiple dialog boxes. So every time you have to call a dialog box and it should display like this. So suppose in this we are selecting a product. So we want to make use of this code everywhere. That time there is a concept called fragments. So we can use a dialog fragment. First we have to create it, and once we define that, we can use it anywhere in the application. So we'll be seeing how to use this dialog box. So I'm using Explode, that is SAPUI5.netviewer.ondemand.com. In that SDK we have something called Explode. Once we explode, we'll be typing here a dialog box, and here dialog box will come, and we can make use of this code. See, dialog fragment. So we are making use of this dialog fragment and we want to use this inside our code. So we'll start the development now. We'll be going to Eclipse. So inside this Eclipse, we already have a concept called routing. So in this routing, whenever I click something, so this routing example is already there. So I'll do one thing. I'll introduce a fragment inside this. So once I refresh this page, this is a routing example. So in this, what I'm going to do is, when I say go to next page, I want to put another one, a dialog box. So I want to introduce the same button. How? This is show, select dialog. Okay, there are different types of dialogs. One is multi, so you can select multiple. So we have something called, see, it is refreshed now. Similarly, we have a reminder. You can have, and you will be getting a reminder saying you have chosen so and so product, glad, etc. Like this. When you select this and say OK, then it will say. Remember, if you say this, okay, then it will be remembered whenever you go to see. This is remembered. Cancel. Like this. This is remembered. So you can remember this item, whatever you have selected that time, you can select remember. If not, you can directly choose this dialog box and select it and cancel it. Multiple select, you select multiple and say OK, it will be refreshed. See? I think you are seeing the changes. So whatever selection we want to make, if you want to remember that time you have to use this show select dialog reminder. So we can select this, and you will say OK. There's two items, it will be stored and remembered. When you do again refresh, this time it's like this. So we'll see the code, we'll implement the same thing. So we'll take a different view. We'll not take the view which is inside. So in this SAP UI5 tutorial 1, I'm going to take another view that is called fragment. So dialog select. So This is a select dialog example. So for example, I'm going to take XML view and I'm going to say finish. So when I say dialog select example view, then automatically XML and controller will be created with the predefined code. You don't have to write everything. So once you click on this, see the onInit function on before rendering and on after rendering, it's already available. Just you have to uncomment it and write your logic inside that. So when it goes to dialog select example, now what we are going to do now here is we're going to place 3 buttons. One is the select dialog, one is multi-select, another one is remember. The same thing. So now what we have to do in the content, we have to place the code. So we'll go to this and whatever is inside the content, so we can place this. So once we place this content, so one second, so you have to copy this code. So it's better use like this only. So whenever you like something code inside this explode, this is how you copy and paste it in your Eclipse. So it will be easy for you and a good practice for you. You don't have to code. So it's already available, so you can make use of this. So I'm going to paste it and there will be few errors because L is not, this namespace is not included. So we have to include that namespace. So we'll go there and we have to include the namespaces. L, MVC is already available, and then that's it. And core. MVC and core is already available. We'll go and see that first. MVC and core is already available, and also available, just layout is not there. So we're gonna add this layout, and that error went off. So this is a better use XML so that it will check some syntax error and some semantic errors also. So this has been done, and I'm going to change the title to select dialog example. I'm going to save this file. So now what I've done, SAPUI code.mvc, XMLS:L is layout, and there's a namespace M. This is how it is. So now we have done changes in XML. Now we'll go to controller, and afterwards we'll go to fragment. We'll go to controller.cs. So this onInit function will copy everything. So and it goes here. I'm copying this entire thing, and I'm going to place inside the controller. Copy everything. I've copied everything. Now I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to say Ctrl+Shift+F. That means I'm formatting. I've formatted, and now I'm going to the top, and I'm going to change require changes. Now we'll first see test resource SAP UI explode product.json. So first what we have to do, we have to get this file. How do we get this file? We have to go here, and so once I'll show you the URL. So this is test resource. So here you have to paste it, and then copy this URL and paste it in the separate tab. So next tab if you place, you will be getting the product.json file. Okay, what we have done is in this explorer.js, after SDK we have placed the URL, whatever it is. Okay, this is how you do. And you go to the product.json, and then you say view source, because I have used a JSON viewer. That's the reason this is coming. So once I click JSON viewer, then this is a list of the products. So I'm just Control A and copy this, and then I'll go to my Eclipse. Inside the Eclipse, I'll be creating one folder in this web content. I'm going to create one folder that is called new folder called model. So inside this model, I'm going to place the product.json file. So how do you create? Right click, new file, and then the file will display this, and you have to write a products.json. And say finish. Then products.json is created. Now you're gonna paste your code here. Then your code will be coming there. So like this, we create a model and then products.json. And then Dialog select example controller. So here we should give a proper path. Model / products.json. and save it. And we are setting up to this model, and now what we have to do, we have changed it. Now we have to open a fragment. How do we create a fragment now? That is important. So fragments will be going into the fragments folder. So you have to right click the web content and create a separate folder. So wherever you create, you have to make sure you have to create inside the web content. So fragments. So fragments. So in this fragments, say finish. Once you say finish, the folder is created, and now a right click this, and you have to create a file. Now you should know for the fragments what file name need to be given. So we already know, we already have an example here. So you have to close this tab. This is the tab you close. See, dialog.fragment.xml. So this is an XML fragment. Okay, so just imagine, just think of, whenever we create any XML view, that how the file will be file name dot view dot XML, right? When we create controller, it will be controller name controller dot JS. And next, whenever we create fragments, that time it will be dialog.fragment.xml. So this is how it will be. Now what you have to do is you have to copy this fragment and place it. Before that, dialog.fragment.xml file name need to be there. I'm copying this. dialog.fragment.xml, because we are creating XML. It can be HTML, it can be JSON, it can't be JS. If it's JS also, that's fine. But normally HTML and XML fragments we use. You say finish. Once you say finish, the fragment will be created like a dialog.fragment.xml. So just renaming this file, like there is a comma had come, so I'm replacing that with dot, and I'll say OK. So this is refreshed. Okay. Now inside this we have to place a dialog fragment. So I'm going to place it. I'm going to Ctrl+Shift+F, and it will be fragmented and formatted. So this is how it is. and we have to go to controller. Inside this controller, we have to make sure the correct path is been called. So select dialog.dialog. So we have to remove this, and what we have used for this is, for web content folder, is we have to go to index.html and we have to check what we have used. So what we have used is, see, com.tutorial we have used for web content. Copying this, I'm going to paste it in this dialog box. I'm going to do this and I'm going to save. So dialog.fragment.xml, and we'll check is the dialog.fragment. We have placed it here. And this is what we have done so far. And then we're gonna refresh this example and see it will come this only. Why? Because it is not calling that example. So what we have to do, we have to change the path inside the index.html. Here what I'm going to do is I'm calling the view. I'll call the view. So how do we call the view? New SAPUI dot view. So sap.ui.view we have to call, and view is capital view, and then inside this we have to give the parameters. So in this view we have to change the view name. So SAPUI view ID is fragment. I'm going to save. We have to check like whether we have given an ID in the controller or not. Controller, whenever we say open, yes, we are not giving any. This we are calling that. So this is a fragment. So but we have to see the dialog box here. Change it is SAPUI tutorial 1. Yeah, I have to save this. This is an example. Okay, so now I'll go to index.html. I'm going to change that view name, that is XML. I'm going to save it, and once I create this new view, and I'm going to place O view, and I'm going to place it at content. Place at content. This is how we're gonna do. We'll explain you the code once we see the output. It's republished and synchronized. And then I'm going to refresh this. Once I refresh, there are no dialog boxes. Select dialog box is coming, but there is no dialog boxes. It's buttons. So why it is? So it is saying some error with the file. So what is that difference? We'll go to the file and we'll see view.xml, and we'll see class content, yeah, page. So there is no page aggregation. That's the reason. So we are calling a page, but there is no aggregation inside. So what I do is move this. So you'll see this. See, now it has come. The normal view, it will come. So now when I select this, there is no dialog box. So we'll see that error first. We'll go here. See, this is com/error could not be loaded. Just check the file error. File not found or parse errors. So we have to go to this dialog.fragment.xml. See, dialog.fragment.xml. Here when we go, this is not been found. So what could be the error? We have to see. So in this, we have loaded these resources. So we'll make use of this resource and we're gonna paste it here and com.tutorial. But so com.tutorial we have done, but it is fragments.dialog. So we have missed that fragments. So we have to save this. So fragments and then dialog.fragment.xml. So we'll go there. We're going to refresh this. And once I refresh, the model product.json is also not there. That is also we have to see why it is not there. So we click on this and there is no. So undefined is not a function. It means SAPUI tutorial that dialog select example.controller.js. So there is a function here which is not defined. So there is no style class. Yes. So we can comment this code because few things will be there like this. That's the reason it's very important how you gonna handle error handling. So we have a separate session for error handling also. Meanwhile, when we work on this things, you will be coming to know more. So that's how when we copy, we have to check each time. So how it is going to be, because I'm doing along with you, you have to think. So, and what you have to do is you have to do the same way what I'm doing now. Copy exactly and slowly you change it. Why this error has come? That is more important. So this jQuery means this style class is not there. So we'll go there and this is line number 32. So we'll go here and we're gonna comment this code and then I'm gonna refresh this. And then when I say select dialog, there is a dialog. See, this is how the dialog box appeared, but there is no data. So why it is no data? That's because of this console. This product.json is not available. Once you click on this, you'll get the list of things, and once you click on this, double click, you'll get the response. But the P is capital. That is the reason. See, the small mistake will cost us such errors. So the P is capital. This is how we're gonna save it. We're gonna refresh this with empty cache and we'll see what are the errors we get. There are no errors. Beautiful. So we're gonna clear and we're gonna see that now. Now these are the LX, but that's the end product now for us. So once you select, there should be a product list, but the product list is not appearing. Once you do this, it's not, that means it is not set properly. And then when you say, remember, this is not set properly. See, there is no data. So why there is no data? We have to go there and we have to check this view we are getting in. For this view, we are setting up the data, but this view we are not getting, but this dialog.set model, we have to do it here. So why the data is not coming is, it is not loaded into this fragment. So when we press F12, we'll get the console, and we have to go here where we are setting up the model. So once you say select, here we get, and we have to check this .get model, what the data it is. So here we go to console and we want to paste that, click, and there is OData. OData is an object. This is what. So product collection should be the binding. We'll go to a product dialog.fragment.xml and we'll see the product collection. So we're gonna items. I'm going to remove this path. I'm going to remove the normal one. Collection. I'll remove this and put normal slash. And I'm going to save. And I'm going to refresh this once again with the empty cache. And when I select this, see, now it has come. There was some problem with that path, and then we are not seeing any images, right? So as of now, we'll not worry about images. So we just remove that image URL icon. So this icon will be removing it. And we'll be saving it. And we'll go here and refresh it. Once I refresh, see, there is no icons. It is clear for us.